welcome to Greek again this week. We're going to revise a few things that we've done in the past couple of weeks. So I'm not going to start with the alphabet this time. We're going to have a little look at words that you can decipher without it on the screen. So how good's your Greek alphabet? So I've got 5 words there and another 5 words that go with them to make an English word. So if we look at the first one, penta and gonia, that's a mathematical term, isn't it, as shape, and the picture gives you a bit of a clue, pentagon, though in English we say penta rather than penta. So have a little look at numbers 2, 3, 4 and 5 and let's see how far you get. So you're translating the word on the left, and on the right, the word on the right should complete it. So pause now if you do not want to know the answers for a little bit and want to work them out for yourself. So number 2, teleskope. So telescope. Tele means far away, and scope is to do with, sort of sight and seeing. Number 3, dodecahedra. Dodecahedron, another shape. Dodeca's 12, and hedra is bases. Number 4, phos and graphos. Sometimes with the Greek words, you have to add additional letters in English. This is to do with cases in Greek, and we'll come to that a little bit later. There's different forms of the word phos, photos, and that's where we get photographos, photograph. Phos is light, and graphos is writing. Number 5, poly and meros, or polou or meros. Polou if it's ancient Greek, poly if it's modern Greek. Poly, many, and meros, you have to take the omicron and the sigma there off the word to get polymer, which is a material made up of different layers. Poly is many and meros is part. So let's have a little look at some more words here, some numbers, and we've thrown in other things to confuse you as well. So pause the screen if you don't want the answers yet. Penta is 5, deca is 10, dodeca is 12, so we've got the numbers there. Athene is Athena, the goddess. Pythagoras, you may have come across that in maths, Pythagoras, a famous mathematician, and you may have done Pythagorean theorem. Parthenon. Parthenos actually means the maiden, and Parthenon is the temple of Athene the maiden in Athens. And gonia is corner or angle, and you put gonia or gon at the end of various mathematical shapes like pentagon and the such like. Right, Greek is used in a lot of scientific terms, and the scientific terms we've got on this slide are everything to do with space. So if we have a little look at the first 3, astron, where we get astronaut, is a star. Galak, that kind of start, that kind of beginning, we get galaxy from, and gala is milk in Greek, and that's where we get the Milky Way, the cloudy stars and space. Eidos is form, so that is useful to put on the ends of things. We'll come back to that. Number 2, planetes, planet. Cometes, comet. Planetes is wandering about, and that's what planets do in their orbit. And cometes is hair. And if you have a look at comet, you've got the tail of the comet. Cosmos is the universe. Russian astronauts are actually called cosmonauts. Astronaut and cosmonauts are new words. So the Russians decided to go with the cosmos, the universe, and the Americans decided to go with astronauts, the stars. The nautes you will see in number 3, and it means sailor or navigator. So an astronaut is a navigator of the stars, and a cosmonaut is a navigator of the universe. Number 3, meteoros, we get meteor from that, and it just means anything above. So meteorus, we get meteorological from, and the weather, anything to do with the weather and the things above is meteorological. Nautes, we've already explained, it's a navigator, explorer, sailor. Nomos is law or rule, and any words that end in onomy are kind of rules or laws. So astronomy is kind of the rules of the stars, law of the stars. Number 4, scopeo, is to kind of, see or examine. And we get scope from that, as in telescope and microscope. Tele is far away. And physica is where we get physics from. Physis is kind of nature of the natural world. So we've got some astronomical words that are connected with the Greek language. How about these words here? So we've got a combination of scientific terms and other terms. If you don't want to know the answers, pause now. At the top, we've got theatron, where we get theatre from. It just means viewing space. Diagramma, we need to knock off the mu and the alpha for diagram. Therme is heat. Keramikos or keramikos, ceramic. Kinema, we get cinema from, is movement. Electron, so if you were scientifically minded, you might know what an electron is. Some kind of particle. I'm not very scientifically minded, I'm afraid. Dynamikos, we get dynamic from it. So dynamikos, it actually means powerful. Now, part of the Greek exam is a question on ologies and onomies. Ologies comes from logos, which is the Greek word for word or study, and onomies comes from nomos, which is the Greek word for rules or laws. So have a little look at these words, and are they an ology or an onomy? For example, psuche, if we put ology at the end of that, that's psychology. And psuche actually means soul. So we think of psychology as kind of the study of the mind, but psuche in Greek actually means soul. So again, pause if you don't want to know the answers yet. We have got Tecne, that should have a new there, I'm sorry about that. So Tecne, which is technology. Zoon, which is anything to do with animal or living creature, zoology. Pathos, pathology. So, sort of the study of diseases and that. Often you have an injury. Often you have a pathologist, in murder cases and stuff like that. You see them on the telly. Bios, biology. So we've got another few for you to see if you can recognise and put ology or onomy, sort of on the end. Let's have a little look. Archaeology, the study of archaios, ancient things. Chronology, chronos, the study of time. Topos, topology, the study of place. And I think you can have topography as well. Physis, physiology and physiognomy. So that again to do with natural and scientific things. And genealogy as well, which is genea, is to do with birth and the family. And if you're a genealogist, you're actually looking at your family tree. So again, topology we've got, chronology, what are the other, we've got genealogy, what are the other ones there? Can you remember? The only one different we've got is theos, theology, which theos is a god, and it's a study of kind of religion and the gods, and that theology is, it's often another word for Ari, isn't it? Religious studies. Physis, physiology again, or physiognomy, and genia, which is genealogy. So another week there, so keep revising your ologies and onomies and the Greek alphabet, and we'll have some fun next week. I've designed for you a Greek escape room to put all those things that you've been learning to good use, and see how much you can remember. Okay, see you next week.